So I'm going to send this out to everyone so you'll be able to see it and refer to it, but this is the basic structure of how the game is organized. The game is organized into rounds of a year, and there's a spring and a fall in each year, and that's sort of the basic turn. As you can see in the spring round, there is the phase where we have our negotiation. That's the 1 week that we'll have each week to negotiate, to text one another, to make plans to backstab Ryan as often as possible. And then there is the movement orders. That's where you all actually send me the email with your orders. Then I will do the conflict resolution phase. That's like taking all your orders, putting them in practice on the map, and sort of playing out what happens. By the way, I will let you know, I will always tell you, because it is supposed to be public, so I will always share with you what orders were made. That way, if someone did backstab you, you will know, you will find out. Obviously, maybe nothing happens, maybe the board won't change as a result of the backstab, but it is understood that everyone should know that the orders would be known by everybody, because, of course, in the actual events, let's say, if an army marches, everyone knows that an army marched somewhere. So everyone will know what happens. I will always be telling you all what happened in each turn. Then the next thing that happens after we resolve conflict is the retreat orders. And there's a few specific stipulations when you, let's say you lose. So let's come back to this conflict here. Let's say that Sarah attacked Tyrolia. Ryan was neutral in the conflict, but this fleet was offering support. So Sarah had 2, Amrit had 1. Sarah marches into Tyrolia. After I complete that, I'll just sort of hold that there for now. The next thing that I would have to do is I would give Amrit the opportunity to issue his retreat, to decide where he's going to go. And basically he can go any adjacent space, provided that there is not already an army there, and that there wasn't a conflict already. So let's just say he would issue his order to go to Munich, but he could also issue an order to go to Bohemia if there hadn't been a conflict there. He could go to Vienna if there hadn't been a conflict there, so he would have some options. But obviously, if the board is a bit busier, if there's more players on the board, it might be harder. If there's nowhere for Amrit to go, if any of his options are closed off, for whatever reason, let's just imagine that these were all blocked off, then he has to disband the unit. He has to take that unit off the board. And obviously that is a big loss because we don't have a lot of units to work with in this game. So it is always something to be aware of. If you want to actually destroy a unit, you would want to march on that unit where it has no escape option, where it has nowhere it can retreat. Okay, so going back to the order of operations here. So that's all what happens in the spring round. We then do the same thing again in the fall round of the game. The only thing that is different is at the end of the fall round of the game, that's kind of like the end of a full year, a full turn, that's when we sort of adjust the totals. So you can see the bottom, it says count supply centers, adjust unit totals. So what we would do at that point is we would then take stock of what has changed. How many cities has every player gained or lost? And then we actually can create, or we might lose, units as a result, and I'll explain that next.